Hello and welcome to this Healthcare 101 presentation, a simple guide to understanding your health insurance, Module 2. We're going to talk about types of health plans. So in this particular module, we're going to talk about a lot of acronyms. So we'll start with the most popular ones you probably know about. We'll start with HMO. HMO stands for Health Maintenance Organization. This is the type of health plan where you always must see your primary care provider first, and they would refer you to specialists and services within a certain medical group. PPO is a preferred provider organization. A PPO plan has a much larger network of providers. In fact, most all providers fit into a PPO in one of two categories. There's in-network providers and there's out-of-network providers. In-network providers are that because they have contractually agreed to a set of maximum expenses at a discounted rate for 30 plus thousand services that you might need. So your in-network doctors, you have access to discounted rates, and you're not going to see these extra bills pop up with all these extra charges that they're asking for later because they're obligated to charge only this much. There is then out-of-network providers. These are all the rest of the doctors that have not had a contractual agreement with the insurance company that you're with. They can charge you literally whatever they like. Your PPO plan will still allow you access to them and they will still pay for some of the services, but it'll be at a limited rate and you'll have much higher out-of-pocket expenses. An EPO plan is an exclusive provider organization. This is kind of a mix of an HMO and a PPO. With an HMO, you have your in-network providers, your medical group, and then you have no other coverage. With a PPO plan, you have in and out of network coverage. With an exclusive provider organization or an EPO, you have access just like a PPO plan when you're using in-network doctors. But if they're not in network, you are out of luck. Okay, so there is no out-of-network coverage with an EPO. Next term is a high deductible health plan or HDHP. High deductible health plans are just that. Larger deductibles, probably starting at $2,000, going all the way up to about $8,000. You're going to pay for most all of your services up front, up to these deductibles. These are attractive to some people because with the added risk that you're taking on as the insured, you are getting in exchange a much lower premium. HDHP plans came into existence mostly to serve HSA eligible accounts, which is our next term. HSA, Health Savings Account. Think of this just like a medical IRA. A lot of the same rules apply to it. You can put money in up to a certain amount on a pre-tax basis. This would be a tax deferred contribution. The money stays in that, it grows, it can be attached to the market and grow through mutual fund investments and stuff like that. There is no use it or lose it. You don't have to spend it at a certain point or else you don't get it anymore. But if you use those funds to pay for qualified medical expenses, it is tax-free on the spot. Then we have FSA or flexible spending accounts. FSA plans very popular with employers in America. This is a system in which employees can determine how much of their own paycheck they want to set aside on a per paycheck basis to pay for predictable medical expenses or for childcare services. So there's a maximum you can put aside. It is coming out of your check pre-tax, which is the big part of this, and you can spend it tax-free on these qualified services. What are qualified services? Anything covered by your health plan, generally medical, dental, vision. But if you want the full list, check out Section 213D of the IRS code. So flexible spending accounts are great because you can put this money aside pre-tax. The drawback is it is use it or lose it. If you don't spend out of your FSA account by the end of the year, those unused funds, you will forfeit to the plan and lose access to them. So you want to really put some good thought into how much you want to put in that FSA. Then there's an HRA, a health reimbursement account. This is usually set up by the employer with funds put forward by the employer to cover your medical expenses. So they can decide to contribute $500, $1,000, $2,000 in employer funds to cover your copays, your deductibles, maybe even dental or vision expenses. So the HRA is set up usually by the employer with employer funds. FSA is usually set up by the employee with employee funds, and the HSA, while usually an employee-funded thing, can be a combination of employer and employee. Thank you for tuning into this tutorial.